Yo, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, I am going to be showing you the best starter builds in Rune Slayer. So I'm just gonna I'm not really gonna be showcasing any like fighting gameplay here, but I'm basically just gonna go over the whole creation of a player, like the best way to start a player, the best class to use, the best species, all that for you guys. So as you can see, you want to start a slot up, and then you're gonna see species, right? This is your race that everybody knows. If you hover over these three boxes, it shows you the abilities you get as being this race. So I got elf. So you can see right here, it gives you a description about it. So elves are expert hunters, boasting a superior capacity for precision and endurance compared to other races. Masters of stealth, they excel at remaining unseen. So as you can see from the first box, Strider, it gives you plus 3% speed boost, plus 10% cooldown reduction, plus 10% stealth. Then you got this next one, Mana Infinity. Yeah, Affinity. I don't even know how to say it. But you get 10% increased mana, which is good for mages and priests. You get Focus Affinity, which gives 5% increased focus, which is good for like warriors, archers, and thieves and strikers. And then we have Species Chances. So these are all the races they have in the game. So human, it's not a bad race. When you're low on health, you do more damage. It's more on the warrior, striker side. Elf, this would be more of the archer, maybe even I would say thief or mage in that area. Orc, I haven't got an orc role, but I heard it's more of like a warrior thing because it's like stronger based. And then Euron is a fast moving species. It's like a bunny or a rabbit. I have this one on one of my high level thief builds. You do move faster, so it's definitely a archer or thief thing, like 100%. Now, down to these last three right here, I never gotten any of them, which kind of sucks because they are really good. So the first one is slime. So what I've heard from other people that got slime, as a slime, you can drop these little poles and you can run over them and heal yourself up, which is really good. Also, when you hit level 25 of a slime, they have this thing called a race upgrade. So the reason why these three are so good, well, really two, um, slime and half golem, the reason why these two are really good is because they get race upgrades. So you get to choose what you want your race to be upgraded as, and you can make it as like more towards a thief and like a archer way, or you can make it like a warrior striker build, or you can make it a mage priest build. That's the main reason why these two are really good. So if you do get these, make sure you do research videos on them. Or if you guys want me to show a video on these builds, like what build you should get as these races, let me know down in the comments. I will do that for you guys as well. And then on the other hand, Dullahan 2%. This, I know somebody that I play with that has this. It's actually not that bad. You get really good passive abilities. You get one that kind of spins, like does a tornado twirl. Then another one, I'm pretty sure like slashes or something. Then you can also throw your head. Now this throwing head mechanic as a Dolahan, it lets you run away with a headless body, but you could see it's kind of like your head's a camera. Like you can still see everything in the area with your head, even if you're away from your head. Like if you walk away with your body, you can still see everything on the head, which is really cool in my opinion. So these three right here are to be known the best races to get in the game. So if you do get these, like I said, make sure you do research your build and make sure you want that build on that race. So now, next thing we're gonna do, you can see they have customization, faces, eye colors, skin color, and whatnot, clothes. Now we're just gonna make a character name. So we're just gonna name him Jimmy. Um, Boom, we're gonna go ahead and confirm. Now we got to the classes. So there are 6 classes. We have warrior, thief, striker, archer, magician, priest. And I don't even think that's 6. No, that's 6. Okay, that's 6. All right. I thought I had 5. But anyways, we're gonna break this each by each, and I'm gonna show you guys, or not show you guys, but I'm gonna tell you guys what each build is good for and what it's not good for. So we're gonna start off with warrior since this is the first one. So warrior is as you can see right here, it says this class excels in melee combat, wielding a sword as their primary weapon. So as a warrior, you could go sword and great axe. I'm pretty sure there's one more. I forgot what it's called, but the sword and the great axe are like the main ones. Mostly great axe. I heard that one's really good. But a warrior is like a heavy tank, you could say. So it's one of those builds where you're always going to be in the front fighting. You're going to be the first ones fighting because you have so much health and you do so much damage. So as you can see with the stats right here, you get +3 strength, +2 stamina as the beginner stats. Now your features, this is what you start off with. Of course, you do get more when you progress in levels. So the first one is sword training, grants the ability to use swords. Then the second one is heavy armor, grants the ability to wear heavy armor. See, the reason why I say this build is a tank build is because with the heavy armor, you actually get really good armor as a warrior. The reason why the warrior is probably the best with armor right now is because this game has just came out about 3 weeks ago, so there's not a lot to the game. So mostly a lot of this stuff warrior can get. And then as for abilities, we have slash and strike. It just does like a quick slice down. I'm pretty sure it does, or it like pierces them or something like that. But this ability is it's a pretty good starter ability. If you don't know, when you level up, you can upgrade these abilities. So if you right click on this ability, slash and strike, it will show like 2 other abilities you could upgrade it to, and you could pick which one you want, confirm it, and then now you won't have slash and strike, you will have an upgraded version of it, which is really dope, which I like about this game. I'm not gonna lie, like it's honestly the coolest thing I think this game has had, which honestly is like the best. Now we're gonna move on to the next one, thief. Now thief has to be my favorite like build in this game ever. I'm talking PvP and PvE wise. This build excels in both categories very well. Like, it's so good. As you can see, I'm going to just go over the stats in the description. It says this class excels at being quick and attacking at a fast rate, wielding daggers. So you run daggers with these, and yes, these daggers are broken, and they are adding more daggers throughout bosses, which I really like and I'm trying to get, but they're really rare to get. But these daggers are really good because you have daggers that do poison damage. You can also get daggers that do fire damage, and blood loss damage as well. I'm pretty sure. I think that's with an ability though. But those are the ones that I know of so far, which are really good. But we're gonna go over the stats here for you guys right here. So as you can see, it says you get +3 agility, +1 stamina, and +1 strength. So this is of course this is gonna be the beginner stats you get right in the beginning of the game as a level 1. Now we're gonna go over the features. You get dagger training, grants the ability to use daggers, and then you get medium armor, grants the ability to use medium armor. So this one you're really gonna want to use because as a thief, the armors aren't the greatest, but you can make them better. If you guys didn't see, I did post a video before this, and it was on how to get the assassin armor as a thief, which is at the moment I'm pretty sure the second best armor for a thief. If you want to check that one out, you can check it out so you can look at the armor stats for the assassin one. It's not that hard to get that armor as well, and it's really good end game wise as well. So this is very important right here because as a thief, you don't have that much health, but you also don't have too little health. So it's in the mix, but you do gotta play very, very cautious and make sure you know what you're doing. Now down to abilities. Piercing Strike. This is the one where you can stab right through your enemies. It's a really good one, and like the other one as warrior, you can upgrade this and it will change. If you do want a video on a thief build, please let me know, because I have 2 thief builds right now, one level 30 and one level 40. I will make a third one for you guys just to see. Of course, it's just a video build. I will delete it eventually, but I will be showcasing you guys a full thief build guide. So just let me know down in the comments if you guys want that or not. So that's all for the thief class. Now we're gonna move on to striker. So striker, I don't know much about because I actually don't run this build at all. Some people say it's good for PvP, but I don't see people with this at all. Every time I run around, it's either archer, mage, warrior, or thief, or priest. It's really everything but striker. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't really get striker. It's not really a recommended build at the moment, but I will tell you some stuff about it. So as you can see, it says this class excels at close range combat using their fists. As for the stats, you get +3 stamina and +2 strength. So the features that come on it is gauntlet training, which is the ability to use gauntlets, and then light armor grants the ability to use light armor. See, that's the one reason why this build is kind of bad, because it grants the ability to use light armor and you're doing close range combat. So you have to be really, really up close, which sucks because you're going to be tanking most of the time. So you're going to lose all your health and you're pretty much just going to die a lot. So it's not really worth it. The combos on this build, yes, are good, but also right now aren't the best, because they don't really have that many good gauntlets or armors for the striker. Now down to the abilities though, we got strike, which is literally, I'm pretty sure, just a kick move, or no, the weapon art is a kick move, I'm sorry. But the strike, I'm pretty sure it's just like a hard punch it does. Nothing really crazy, to be honest. Like I said, this isn't a recommended build at the moment since there's not a lot going on for it, and it's not really talked about as much as well because of how bad it is. So now we're going to move on to the next class, the 4th one, which is archer. Now in my opinion, if there was a ranking for these classes, it would be thief, or it would probably be like warrior, just because of all the stuff it gets. Then like probably archer, thief, mage, and then priest, striker. I feel like that's like a valid area. I don't know, I kind of want to put thief like at the top, but some people think otherwise. But in my opinion, thief is just really good, but I'll put it as 3 is like everybody's based opinion on it at. But in my opinion on archer, it's really good. So I also didn't mention these builds get subclasses at level 30. So I'm gonna be going over the subclass for each one as well. Some of them I think the only one I don't know is the striker one, because I never made a build on that, so I don't know the striker subclass at all. But for archer, as you can see, it says this class specializes in long range attacks with a bow. Its stats are +3 agility, +1 stamina, +1 spirit. The features you get is bow training, grants the ability to use bows, and then medium armor grants the ability to use medium armor. This is really good because you are also far range and you can use medium armor, so you still get a good amount of health and you're not really engaged into the fights. The abilities on this build are really well if you upgrade it right. So make sure you guys get the right upgrades. Also, if you guys want to showcase build onto this archer build, if you want a tutorial on the best build for archer, please let me know down in the comments. I will do that for you guys as well. So the ability it gets is power shot. It's just a quick little charge shot, does a good amount of damage, not too bad. Like any other build, you can upgrade this eventually too, and it will change. The subclasses for this build is, there's actually 2. They got Beast Tamer, and I think the other one is Sharpshooter. So Beast Tamer, you can actually tame bigger what's it called, monsters. So like crab, crocodile, serpents, I'm pretty sure. Birds, I'm not too sure if you can get those. And adult spiders, and I think there's some other ones, but I'm not too sure. As of right now, I have the crocodile and the crab, which are probably like the best two. Maybe the adult spider is the best one, because it does do poison damage and all that. It's not too bad. That's another recommended one I would get for you guys. So now we're gonna move on to the next one, Magician. As of right now, Magician is starting to make a come up, due to a video that somebody dropped on one of its subclasses, which I think is called Arcane. I'm not too sure, but I will talk about it after I show you guys these stats real quick. So as you can see, it says this class excels in using magic along with a staff as their primary weapon. And in the stats it gets is +3 intellect, +2 spirit. And the features is staff training, which grants the ability to use staffs, and then light armor, which grants the ability to use light armor. So it's like Archer, but you pretty much got powers, and just less health. But it doesn't really matter, because the powers you get on this when you hit subclass level 30 is really crazy. Now don't get me wrong, I've made a mage build. I have one level 30 right now. The only problem that I had with this build was the progression. It gets boring. The progression isn't really that fun as a mage build, because you are just sitting back using spells the whole time. So if you guys do get bored, like, I suggest you to grind missions while your friend is also on a low level build, so it's not as boring. But it does get kind of boring, so just be aware of that. But other than that, it's a really great build. I definitely suggest this build. 100% recommended. Now we're gonna go down to the abilities. So magic arrow. What magic arrow does is it shoots an arrow, and it's a homing arrow. If you don't know what that is, basically it locks onto a target and it will hit them. It's not bad. Like any other build, again, you can upgrade it and it will get better if you upgrade it right. Now the subclasses this gets is Summoner, which lets you spawn 2 beasts, which is called the Imp and the Fiend. Now these are the beasts, if you are level 30 plus, up by the Lakeshire, some people will know. These are the beasts in the Hell area, and they are very strong and do have good powers. So it is kind of recommended to go Summoner. But also, as the second subclass being Arcane, I've heard good things about this. Never have I got it though, but it does have like these like light powers. I'm assuming some like lightning powers or something like that. I'm not too sure. But it does like do a lot of damage, and the main move for it, which costs like 250 mana, does a lot of damage. So either one is good. Doesn't really matter which one you go for. If you're looking for like a good PvP, I would say the Summoner, but it's also good PvE wise. It's really good both. It's balanced. So either subclass you pick, it's not wrong. It's not bad. It's just whatever you prefer. So if you guys want a video on that as well, I will show you guys a video on that. Like I said, just let me know down in the comments, and I will showcase a tutorial build on a Magician. Now the next up build is Priest. Now this is one of the newer classes they added onto the game. But it says here that this class excels in using magic along with a staff as their primary weapon. The stats, +3 spirit, +2 intellect. Then the features it gets is staff training, light armor, and then the abilities it gets is holy light. So as a priest, you are a healer, so don't really expect to get into combat too much. If you love to heal, this would be your go-to thing. Everybody loves a healer in this game. If you're a healer, you're literally like a lifesaver, because it is hard. And don't get me wrong, nobody wants to sit there, farm potions, and then later on use it all and have to refarm again. If we have a healer, we don't really have to worry about that. But as a priest, you really want to play back. You don't want to get too far into the fight. Of course, you do get some powers where you can do damage to the bosses, which do come in clutch, especially during the world bosses. If you know about the world bosses, then you know they are really like helpful. Um, so the subclass for this build, I'm pretty sure it's only one, and I don't know what it's called. I'm assuming it's called Resurrection because it does bring dead people back to life, which is really good. It's like honestly the best thing in my opinion. I like that because especially if you're in a very intense boss fight, like say the mother spider, how far down you have to go in the cave. If a dude could just bring you back to life, that's literally the best thing ever because you don't have to only worry about coming back down to the cave, but you also don't have to worry about not getting anything from the boss. So that's a really good thing. Like I said, if you do like a healer, go priest. Everybody will love you if you go this and play with them and heal them. It's honestly a lifesaver build. Now back to warrior. Since I didn't say the subclasses for these, I'm gonna be showing you the subclasses for these. We have, let me check real quick. We got berserker. I can show you guys right here in the Rune Slayer Trello. If you guys don't know, in the Rune Slayer Trello, they do show all the abilities. It's unofficial, so it's not from the actual Rune Slayer devs. But if you go in this thing, it will show you all the stuff in the game, which is like I love it because you can also read most of the stuff. So if we go to subclasses right here, we're gonna be able to go to warriors. So we have swordmaster, knight, and berserker. So the best one that everyone goes with is berserker. As you can see, it gets all this stuff right here. Blood craze. After killing an enemy, you gain 25 rage and 30% movement speed for 8 seconds. Rage, a resource harnessed by berserker skills generated through the heat of battle. Bloodlust, gain physical damage and lifesteal based on your missed health. And then bloodthirst, channel your rage into a devastating 2-strike attack, each blow restoring a portion of your health, which is really good. Oh, and enrage. Enrage, I think, is the best one if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the one that gives you plot armor. Basically, you're not able to take damage. You can't get hit. Like you won't take damage for a good couple seconds. So it's the best thing because you can take a lot of damage off of a boss from using that. So I would say the recommended build is to go berserker. Fortress, I never really see anybody run this. Swordmaster, what it does is you use this flicker that or you use the field. It drops like a big red like pool, like puddle or whatever, and you use your flicker, and what it does is basically teleport you to the enemy and you will slice them, but it doesn't do that much damage. It's not really that good, so it's not recommended in my opinion. As for fortress, I'd never use this. I'm guessing it's more of, or knight, I'm saying as a knight. I never really use this though. I'm assuming it's like a defensive subclass because it says when using a shield skill that causes you to block, you can be guard broken, which it's just really defensive. Like there's nothing more to that. Now next up, I already noticed, but assassin and ninja. This is for the thief build. So assassin, you're able to teleport onto enemies. You can go invisible, and you have this move, which I don't know if ninja has later when you level up, but this move right here. I don't really know how to say it. Gooj, Gauge, I don't know how to say it. But when you go against a humanoid target, if you don't know what that means, like basically a player built target. So you know how players look in the game. If you go against a enemy that looks exactly like that, you can use this ability on them, and it will slice their eyes and make them blind, which will stun them for a couple seconds. It's honestly the best thing PvP wise, because when you grab somebody in there, they can't roll out. What it does is it grabs them, chokes them, hold them in the air. Then your character slices their eyes out, and they get stunned. Then you could just spam a bunch of moves on them, which is really good. It's honestly my favorite thing. But that is definitely up there for PvP. As for ninja, I have this one on my other thief build. It's more of like in the air fighting kind of thing. As you can see, you get Rising Fane. This, what it does is basically make you do an uppercut with your dagger, like you do a slash upwards. Then Rend, you dash forward and slice into your enemy. It's really good damage. Um, Shikuchi makes your dash instant. This is honestly a really good thing because you need your dash to be fast. Then Skyren, successfully landing Rising Fang grants you the ability to unleash Skyren. This is also another good thing. Basically meaning you can stay in the air for a bit. I think that's what it is. I'm not too sure. Now for the next one, we're gonna go Striker. Okay, so as strikers, you can see we have Wrath and we have Spirit Spirit Shift. Oh no, I'm sorry. Those are abilities. We have Ashura and Monk. So as you can see, I don't really run this, but it does get a lot of stuff. You get Azura's Eclipse. I'll read this out for you guys. At maximum Wrath, unleash a relentless blitz upon your target, consuming all Wrath to lock them in a devastating and inescapable combo. Azura's Crash, teleport behind them to slam them to the ground with devastating force, can only be used after knocking an opponent into the air. Then Wrath, landing Azura's Crash will give you Wrath. This is just the same thing over again. Azura's Wrath though uses your built up Wrath to power up. Now the next one, Monk, Spirit Shift, transform your stance embracing a new spirit form. Spirit Burst, unleash a burst of energy, its effect shifting with your current stance. Spirit Finisher, activating Spirit Shift after landing a Spirit Burst finisher, teleports you behind the enemy. Then Spirit Cleanse, chance to reset the cooldown of Spirit Burst after landing Spirit Burst finisher. So I don't know what any of those do. I kind of know what it means. If you want to see a video on that, I would search it up. I could make a striker build as well and just grind it to level 30 to kind of show you guys what it does. But that's pretty much it for the striker side. Now for the last one, we have Mage, and or no, I did this one already. I'm sorry. The last one we have is actually, I think that's it. The last one, yeah, that's all of them right there. My bad. That's everything right there though. As you can see, these are all the stuff. Like I said, if you search up Rune Slayer Trello, you can see all this stuff. It gives you all the information and details about everything in the game. It's honestly a lifesaver. I usually use this a lot to see what new items drop, because they do show the new items. It shows you where stuff is, all that. This is really good. Definitely recommend it if you are new to the game. Make sure you search this up. But other than that, that's pretty much everything for all the builds in this game. So if you guys have, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the beginner tutorial. Of course, I didn't show any gameplay. This is just more of just talking about builds and the races and whatnot. If you guys do want to see videos on any of those builds I talked about, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.